Hello everybody, this is Gamaniac here and welcome to another video where today I will be discussing the Five Nights at Freddy's movie that is coming out hopefully next year, produced by Blumhouse and in association, and I believe directed by Scott Cawthon, the creator of the game. I am really hyped for this movie. I'm a veteran of the games, so I'm really excited to dive into this with you and go over a few choice topics. Let's get into it. The first thing I want to touch on is the cast, or rather, one part of the cast in particular. I was already hyped for this movie, but when I heard that Matthew Lillard, of all people, got cast, I was both excited and also amused. For anyone watching this who might not know, Matthew Lillard played the live action Shaggy in Scooby Doo. Now, listen, I know he was in Scream as well, but all I can think of when I see him is the farting contest scene in Spooky Island between Shaggy and Scooby that Daphne walks in on. Also, he's a great actor, so picturing him playing William Afton is hilarious to me. Fart contest to Death by Springlock, what a journey. I believe we're not actually sure what his role in the movie will be, but if it's William, I will be absolutely elated. Secondly, I'd like to go over what I think the movie should cover. In regards to the games, the movie will surely just be a glimpse of the actual timeline. I think it should cover the first two. The very first and last scenes of the movie, in my opinion, should be different though. I think the movie itself should kick off with the lead up and execution of the Bite of 83 as seen in the FNAF 4 cutscene. Then the movie itself should cover FNAF 1 and FNAF 2. And then, for the final scene of the movie, show the writhing Springtrap suit like what was seen in the FNAF 3 trailer. This, of course, only works if they intend to make a sequel. I hope they do, so that the first movie isn't stuffed full of content like Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. I actually tricked myself into thinking that movie was good, but it wasn't. They crammed way too much stuff into that, all for fan service, and honestly, I think it just went a little bit overboard and got a little bit off track, which, as a big fan of Resident Evil, disappointed me greatly. As also a big fan of Five Nights at Freddy's, I truly hope that they choose not to go with that route and instead stay true to the games, stay true to the lore, stay true to their established timeline if they can actually just decipher it themselves, and make a movie that is both entertaining to watch, but is also fun for the veterans of the game. Another thing I want to talk about is the things that I think they should keep from the game. There's one part in particular that I want to talk about, but I'm gonna discuss that after this, as I think it deserves its own section. Firstly, keep the office setup. The one in the video that you're watching right now. Please actually be watching this. I think this is a good video. I hope it's a good video. Anyways, keep the office exactly how it is in the game. I want the fan in the same spot. I want the garbage on the desk. I want the poster on the wall. Don't make the nose beep though. But, really, it'll take away from the atmosphere. Don't make the nose beep. But, again, really, the FNAF 1 office is absolutely iconic, and it deserves to be maintained. I also vote to keep Phone Guy, which I think should be a given. Again, iconic, and the only other human voice you hear. They also need to keep the music box sound should they cover FNAF 2, because that thing is the pure sound of stress. Same with the Phantoms in the third game. And something that I want them to keep that's not actually in the script that I wrote for this video is the Golden Freddy hallucination and the little tells that he's there, like the It's Me poster in the, I want to say hallway, but I don't actually quite remember. But keep that. Honestly, if done right, that could be a terrifying scene. I also think they should keep the heads turning towards you in the camera, like what you're seeing right now. There's a rare scene where all three of their heads can be shifted and angled towards the camera, staring directly at you, and I think that is terrifying. So, my vote is to keep that. Hey, this is Gamaniac. Future Gamaniac. Editing from the future. Yeah, totally. The other thing, kind of forgot to mention, was the other rare poster. I think we just saw it. It's the black and white one of Freddy, and there's a rare screen where he is like ripping his jaw open, and it's right here. It's right there. We just saw it. It's a rare screen where he rips that jaw open, and I don't know if that was a Golden Freddy tell or not, but I think they should keep that as well because, again, freaky. All right, back to regularly scheduled programming. Thank you. And now for the separate section from the last one that I mentioned I was going to talk about after because it deserved its own section. And this is the atmosphere. They need to keep the atmosphere of the games. I'd go as far as to say that they need to get this perfect. One of the shots that I hope they include in this movie specifically is the hallway light shot where you turn on the light and you see the animatronics peeking in at you. Just imagine that shot in live action. My heart would just beat faster in fear all over again, just like it did when I first played the game. The utter helplessness that you, the player, feels as all you can do is hope that the doors don't glitch and they actually close. Yes, the door glitch. It was around when Markiplier made the game famous, and it is still unfixed to this day. The buzzing of the lights, the startling ringing of the phone, the sound of the fan, all of it combined creates such an eerie atmosphere, and at any moment you feel like your life could be over. It's just something I honestly can't describe if you haven't played the games. Something I almost forgot to mention here is the clanking of pots and pans that can be heard when Chica is in the kitchen. Again, combined with everything else, it's just, you rarely hear that. So when you are sitting in this room by yourself, unable to move, and you're hearing the same noises repeatedly, and all of a sudden this metallic clanking comes through one of your headphones, not the other one, just one of them. And you know for a fact that Chica is in the one room that you cannot see, and she is on her way, and the audio cue is just horrifying. And so the atmosphere of this game, and even the second and third game, especially if they choose to cover the third game, but I don't think they will, has to be absolutely perfect. Every minute detail has to be on the spot, otherwise it could take away the expertly crafted immersion that they've spent so many years building. Now, of course, this movie shouldn't be a carbon copy of the game. Something that I love about the games, but I can't really see them keeping, or I can't really see it working well in the movie at all, is the stationary part of it. The security guard in the movie should move around the restaurant, examining the different rooms and animatronics. Another thing that I hope they don't keep, or at least minimize the usage of, is the jump scares. I know, that's what the game is really all about. On the surface level of its horror lies the jump scares. But seriously, I can't see them keeping those. Especially FNAF 1's Foxy jump scare. You know, the one where he peeks his head in to make sure that you really did want mustard on that sandwich. Yeah, scrap that. Now, for this one, I'm a little iffy. On one hand, I love the mystery sort of aspect of this, but on the other hand, I really want to know what this looks like, and what I'm talking about is the kitchen. In the first game, the kitchen camera is broken and it doesn't work, thus not letting you see inside. I really want to see the interior of this. Yes, I know, it'll probably just be a kitchen with dishes and sinks and stoves and all of that, but man, I've been wanting to see that since the game came out. I was always angry that I couldn't see in the kitchen, even though later in my gaming tenure I'd appreciate the horror aspect of it a lot more. I just want to see it, man. I honestly can't think of anything that I don't want them to keep from the second and third games. Those are pretty much perfect FNAF games if you ask me. Except, of course, if they do choose to keep the jump scares, please, for the love of God, if they even cover this game, change Springtrap's jump scare. I made a joke earlier about Foxy popping in to ask about mustard on the sandwich. Springtrap's jump scare looks like he heard that joke and thought it was absolutely hilarious, and now he really has to tell the security guard so he can laugh too. It's horrible, and not in the good way. And now for what I think will be the final part of this video, the design. One design in particular that, if included, they need to get right is Springtrap. The game did such an amazing job at conveying the cyborg that William Afton has become. The twisted flesh visibly decaying beneath the eroding metal, the soulless eyes ironically possessed by a soul. I'd just like to quickly mention the behavior of Springtrap 2. When I realized that he was hiding in almost every camera shot because he wasn't just an animatronic but a sneaky serial killer, I was truly terrified. Again, to reiterate this, I was a child when I played this, but man, they captured that horror perfectly. Still, scary stuff. I'd probably make a Springtrap video at some point, actually. Now back on topic, the designs shouldn't be that hard to get right. They're smooth, yet clunky, and it's amazing. It's honestly, this might sound a little ridiculous, but it's honestly kind of like the first Iron Man movie, where the armor pieces were very much clunky and not smooth and fitted together like the later nanotech suits, but somehow it is still smooth, and it looks pretty great. They've got to get them right, though, otherwise it might not look anything like they did in the game, which, again, it can't be a carbon copy. It can look different, but if it doesn't look anything like it, then it won't be good. So they could maybe tweak them a little bit. Again, the movie can't just be a copy-paste of the game, so with the designs, they can take some liberties, but I really hope that in essence, at the core, it's the same design through and through. So all in all, those are my thoughts on the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and I'm excited to hear yours too. If you've made it this far in the video, please comment down below what you're most excited about and what you're least excited about the movie. And if I said anything that you particularly agree or disagree with, please, first of all, be civil, but don't hesitate to let me know. I'd love to have a conversation about it. To end this video off, I'd like to thank my viewers and subscribers. I know it's not many right now, but I'm not going for fame here. This is just an outlet for me to talk about things I like, and hopefully things that you like too. Thank you for taking this journey with me. On to the next video.